Hi everyone, welcome. In today's video I'll be discussing how to fund your postgraduate degree, whether it be the LPC or the BPC. My name is Minay and I recently graduated from the University of Law. I completed my LPC with MSc in Law, Business and Management. I funded it myself and I achieved a distinction. So in this video I'll go through a couple of steps that you can do which will ease the burden of paying those fees. Now, how much does it actually cost? I've looked at a couple of different unis and the average cost is between £12,000 to £17,000 for the LPC and between £15,000 and £18,000 for the BPC. The range due to the location, so I think if you're outside of London it's cheaper, the cheapest being Leeds I think. And obviously London is very expensive where it would cost you £17,000 to £18,000. So the first consideration would be whether you want to do it full-time or part-time. If you can do it part-time, it's financially easier. You can easily work and study at the same time. However, if you are like me and you want to just get the LPC over and done with within a year or through the accelerated course of 6 months, then I'm going to show you some alternatives or some options available to you. The first one to consider is the postgraduate loan. This is offered by the government, however there's a caveat to it. It doesn't cover LPCs, BPCs and GDL on its own, as those are counted as diplomas as opposed to masters. So what you would have to do is couple the LPC or the BPC with either an LLM or an MSc. The difference between these two I have looked into and I have a separate video on it if anyone's interested. So if you decide that you would like to do the LPC or the BPTC coupled with the LLM or the MSc, then the government offers a grant of £11,222, which is really good because it covers most of your fees. So what universities offers what? I know that the University of Law offers the BPC with the LLM, the LPC with the LLM and the LPC with MSc in Law, Business and Management, which is what I did. I know that BPP offers LPC with LLM and LLM with BPC. I'm not sure if they offer the LPC with MSc. Do look into it, they might do, contact them, but if you really want to do the MSc I would recommend the University of Law. So once you've decided that you want to do the combined course and you embark on it, it means that you will now, for example, if you're doing your degree in London, you will have 6 to 7 grand left that's outstanding that you'd have to find money to pay. I know that at the University of Law they do offer instalments. The University of Law offers instalments of 1, 3 and 10, which are very useful. When I did my LPC I did 10 instalments, so I was paying around £510 a month. But I know that the fees have increased, so for example if you're doing your studies in London and you have the postgraduate degree line and you decide to do 10 instalments, then you'll be paying around £608 a month, which is a bit easier to pay off than having to pay off 6 to 7 grand up front. So I would definitely consider looking into instalment options and go to universities that offer instalment options if finances is important to you. My second recommendation and second thing that you should definitely look into is scholarships and bursaries offered by the university you want to go to. What happens is once you've accepted an offer, most universities offer scholarships and bursaries. The University of Law offers around 7 to 8 bursaries, from career changer scholarships to choose law full-time scholarships covering the full fees, law first scholarships and Charles Russell Awards. The BPP also has 2 scholarships, one being a career commitment scholarship which is valued up to £2,000 and full free scholarship which they offer 10 students, so which is very amazing. So definitely apply to scholarships. The advice that was given when applying for scholarship was to treat them like training contract applications. Do your research, make sure your application is well written, and during your oral assessments and interviews just show who you are and why you deserve to get that scholarship. For those who want to do the BPC, I would definitely look into the Inns of Court scholarship. Every inn has its own scholarships. I know that from my friends that if you want to embark to get a pupillage, you'd have to be signed up with an inn. So if you are, talk to your inn, apply for their scholarships, and they will cover the full fees of your BPC. Another important thing about the Inns of Court scholarships is that if you do get a scholarship, your pupillage applications take this into consideration. It's easier for you to get a pupillage if you have a scholarship, because the scholarship proves that the inns approve of your character and believe that you are a right candidate for a pupillage. So definitely recommend a scholarship regardless of your status. Because it demonstrates that you have the support of your inn, which is apparently, according to my friends, taken into consideration a lot. My third tip would be student overdrafts. A lot of banks offer student overdrafts. When I was doing my LPC, I got a student overdraft or a student account with HSBC. They offered me £1,750 interest-free overdraft. What the process is like is they will ask for a letter from university stating how long your course is and when it ends, when you start, and then they just offer you a student account. They do have to do a credit check, so if your credit score is really bad, I would probably not recommend doing it because your overdraft would be limited and you wouldn't get much out of it. But if your credit score is good and you don't have a problem, I would definitely recommend doing a student overdraft, because it does help out with your installments. I took out around £1,000 or all of the overdraft to pay my installments, and then I used to just pay back into my bank account, student bank account, over time. The payments are lenient, they don't ask for all of it back, they just reduce the amount of available overdraft to you when your course ends. So mine went from 1,750 to 1,500 at the end of my course, which was November. And you get around 1 to 2 years to pay off the overdraft, so they're very lenient and it can make a great difference. You know, if you need that extra money for your living costs, I would definitely recommend doing that. Also, when you're choosing a bank, you should choose one according to how much money they're offering you. A lot of banks have overdrafts with loads of perks, but don't be drawn into the perks because you would want one that has a lot of overdraft as opposed to perks. So always go for the one that offers the most amount of money and one that offers a longer period of repayment time. HSBC is a good one, but I know there are other banks that may offer more money. I only did HSBC because I was already with HSBC, so the transition was easier. And when you graduate, they automatically turn that into a graduate account, and you still have some offers, and your overdraft still carries on. I will be writing an article about the different overdrafts at different banks and different perks. You can find that now after you watch this video at Legal Jargon, so feel free to check that out. Also, if you're doing your undergraduate degree, I would definitely recommend switching to a student overdraft. Do that anytime. You just have to take a letter stating when you start and when you finish. That can help you out with your living costs. And lastly, I would recommend working. When I was doing my LPC and during my undergraduate degree, I was working, and then still am working, as an events manager. I was on a 0-hour contract, which basically means the hours are flexible. I work when I want, where I want, and for how many hours I want. I know the climate is quite terrible, and the hospitality and the retail industry is at a standstill at the moment, but hopefully that will change and eventually things will start to pick up and they're going to need more staff. So I would recommend looking into 0-hour contracts for the flexibility purposes. You can look at, there's loads of agencies that offers waitressing, portering, events management, anything. Like, you can just Google it, and honestly there's loads of jobs and agencies out there. You would probably have to wait until September to actually hear back from anyone. I would definitely recommend looking at 0-hour contracts. Of course, if you're a bit worried and you want a bit more stability, you can always find part-time contracts. But either way, don't worry that your work experience is not legal. It's not the end of the world. You can always pick up legal work throughout the way. But if you need the money, get waitressing, get events management, or any sort of work experience. Just remember, all work is transferable. As an events manager, I had to work in teams, I had to communicate, I had to use my softer skills, very much like a lawyer would do in their day-to-day lives. You know, you have to deal with clients in any sort of business. If you work in retail, if you work in hospitality, or if you work in the legal industry. So all the skills are transferable, so do not be afraid to pick up work that's not legal. So definitely do that. That was all that I did. Again, postgraduate loan, look at bursaries, bank accounts, and work experience. So work, basically, pick up some work. And that's all my advice. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I try to answer your questions as much as I can. Check out our articles at Legal Jargon, because we will have articles about the LLM and, you know, the money sides of things, how to raise money, other sorts of things. We have loads of forums, so if you have any questions that you want to ask us or other people to answer, please check out our forums. We have forums on everything, the LPC, the BPC, LLM, MSc, and etc. I hope you really enjoyed this video and that it was useful. I know that it can be very hard to sort of face those fees at such a young age, but you can do it. I did it. I did it all by myself. So anyone can really do it. Just don't worry about it. Just don't think about it. If that's something you want to do and you don't have a training contract, just do it. You honestly will be fine. Not to worry. Don't worry about it. Everything will be okay. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.